Matthew, your mom is perfectly fine. Oh, I'm so relieved that nothing happened to her.
Yeah, me too. Thanks for caring about her. Actually, Mom called me directly to give me the update. So I already had a feeling she was alright.
But from what I gathered, it seems like she'll have to stay in the hospital for a while. It looks like she'll require constant care from nurses around the clock.
Wait, seriously? What do you mean she'll require nursing care? I thought she was doing okay.
I've had a chance to talk to her with quite a bit since the accident. She just shared that she's been experiencing constant dizziness and a sense of disorientation. It's been difficult for her to move her legs properly too. The doctors are hopeful that she can regain her health through rehab, but considering her age, it's likely that fatigue will set in quickly. Rehab is definitely not an easy journey to undertake.
I always figured Mom was doing pretty well health-wise. But after an accident, you never really know what's gonna go down. I mean, she's at the age where things can take a nosedive real quick. You know.
I think it's time we face the facts and start considering finding a nurse for Mom. She's gonna be discharged in just 2 weeks, and we need to have something lined up before that. By the way, you're planning to swing by the hospital and see your mom today, right?
I wasn't planning on it. It takes me like an hour to get to the hospital from my workplace.
But if you hurry, you can make it here within the visiting hours.
Oh sure, I could make it to the hospital. But let's be real here. I'd only have like 30 minutes to spare with her. And honestly, I'm just so darn exhausted today. Can't you see I've got better things to do than waste my energy on a short visit?
That is so insensitive of you. She'll be so happy to just see you there.
I've heard all the updates from you, so seeing her in person is just pointless. She's supposedly doing fine anyway. Plus, she's gonna be stuck in that hospital for another 2 weeks. I'll visit her on the weekends if I feel like it. After work, all I wanna do is go home, plop on the couch, crack open a cold one, and watch some TV. So stop blowing this up into a big deal. Alright?
You really are childish sometimes. Go and see her. You are her son.
Don't get me wrong. If her life were actually at risk or something, I'd consider going. But she's apparently just fine. I'm swamped with work and exhausted. Unlike you, who doesn't have half the workload I do. So don't even try to understand my situation. I've been in this job for ages, and Mom has always been supportive. She'll get it, trust me.
I can't believe you. Look at everything she's done for us. Remember when she stepped up and let us get money to renovate her house? She's always been there for you, even in your adult years. The least you could do is show some gratitude.
Oh, please. Don't act like her lending us money for the renovation was some grand gesture. She had a boatload of cash from when Dad died, and she didn't know what to do with all of it.
Exactly. She had so much money, so it wasn't your money to have by default. I can't believe I have to work so hard to convince you to treat your mother with a bit of respect. Even before now, you hardly even went to see her. It was always me going alone.
Oh, I don't know why you're getting all worked up about this. I'm out there busting my butt to earn money so we can have a decent life. All I'm asking is for you to go see her instead of me. Is that such a big deal? Maybe you'd be happier if we move into Mom's house for a while. It's gonna be empty for 2 weeks anyway. And it's closer to the hospital than our place. So we could conveniently bring Mom's stuff to the hospital.
It's a nice idea, but it's only an hour from our place at hospital. Overall, I think it's just easier to come from home.
Hey, I actually have another idea. Once Mom gets discharged, she'll need someone to take care of her, right? You've always been there to help her out when she needed it. How about you stay at her place and be her caregiver? I can't be there all the time due to work. But since you're not working at the moment, it'll work out perfectly.
I mean, I suppose it could work, but what about our place? You are not exactly a fan of housework.
Don't worry, I could get by.
And you'd go to your mom's place on weekends?
Yeah, I mean, if I'm free then, yeah.
What do you mean if I'm free? She's your mom.
You can't expect me to do everything. I already go and work all week. Please forgive me for wanting a couple of days of actual rest every week. Work really is a grind sometimes. I just appreciate if you could pull your weight sometimes as well. Thanks for looking out for Mom.
How can you say that? I do pull my weight. Anyway, I'll ask her mom what she thinks about me being her caregiver. But you've got to promise me to help out too.
Yeah, I'll help out too. I've got to get back to work. Speak to you in a bit.
Hey Matthew, what on earth is this? Are you trying to be funny or something?
Did the boxes arrive?
Yeah, they did, but I don't understand why you sent all of my stuff to your mom's house.
All of your stuff was getting in the way at home. That's why.
But I'm not planning to live here forever. I told you that I'd come home once or twice a week.
You don't have to worry about coming home. I've canceled our contract on this house.
You've done what? Why on earth would you cancel our contract on the house? I've lived there for over 10 years.
Well, you're always at Mom's place. One person doesn't need this big house. It's completely unnecessary. Not to mention a waste of money.
What the hell? Why did you think you could just do that without consulting me first? You never mentioned it once to me.
I thought you'd try and stop me, but I'm a bit more in the know about this kind of thing. It was the right move.
You don't know that I would have stopped you? I would have agreed. I was never opposed to living with your mom. My parents died when I was quite young, so I care for your mom because it's like having a living parent in this world. And I know that you've been left alone in that big house. Moving definitely makes sense. If only you'd talk to me first.
Well, if you would have said yes anyway, what's the problem?
It's not about whether I would have said yes or not. Anyway, what about you? Where are you going to live? Closer to here?
Actually, I found a nice place closer to my office. I'm going to rent that for a while.
What? Why didn't you find a place closer to here so you could help me out? You haven't been to your mother's house in like a year? And now you're going to move even further away than we were before?
Stop getting so angry. I told you that you should be my mom's caregiver. Don't you understand? That means that I don't have to be. I'm a busy man. I don't have time to mess around with caring for my mom when there's someone already doing it.
Don't talk like that. She's your mother, for God's sake.
I'm just speaking the truth. Mom's got money too. If she wanted more help, then she could get it herself.
Oh, I just realized what's going on. I get what you're doing in saying all this now.
What? I'm just being honest with you.
No, you aren't. You're having an affair, aren't you?
What makes you think that?
Before I moved in with your mom, you were always coming home late. There were quite a few days when you wouldn't come home at all. Dad went on for about 6 months if I remember correctly. You always said it was because you were overwhelmed at work. But that was all a lie, wasn't it? I've bumped into your coworkers a few times around town, and they told me that there's a new policy at work that means you can't work overtime.
And so what?
What do you mean, so what? You're having an affair.
And do you have any proof?
I don't, but...
Either way, I'm happy to get a divorce if that's what we're going to do.
Really? Just like that?
I am left wondering though, if someone who's been a housewife for years could carry on with her current standard of living if she got divorced. You don't have any family that can help you out. And I'm almost certain you don't have any savings to your name.
Well, I guess that's right.
And then there's my mom, who you said was like your own. You just leave her? Don't you think it's better to be sensible about this and carry on?
Is that really what you think? You really want to carry on with us just because it's sensible?
To be honest, I don't really care. If you want to, I'll sign the divorce papers, but if not, we can carry on as usual. I wouldn't even hate you for leaving my mom, to be honest. You know that without evidence, no one will believe you. You'll be left all alone in this world.
At least I'll get my half of the possessions and money. We are married, so you know I'll be able to get my share.
Well, yeah, that goes without saying. I wasn't going to be generous to you in the proceedings, to be frank with you. But given that you've done me a favor by looking after mom so much, I'll be willing to give you a fair amount of money without question.
You really don't care about ever seeing your mom again, do you? And you don't have any love for me, clearly. It is what it is.
I thought that having a housewife would make me happy, but it seems that housewives aren't made to be with hardworking men. You lost your shine pretty fast. When I look at you now, I see an old woman.
Is that why you left dealing with your mom to me and escaped to be with another woman?
Don't get ahead of yourself. You haven't proved that I'm having an affair yet, have you? Aren't you going to start asking me some leading questions to get it out of me?
To be honest, I'm already convinced. But think about this for a second.
Nah, let's skip the thinking and just jump directly into the divorce. We should both start getting ready to sort out the divorce proceedings. And while you're looking after my mom, you'd better start job hunting or you're going to be left with nothing.
You're the worst.
Even if you think that, there are clearly a lot of women that don't think so. Do me a favor and don't hold a grudge against me because you didn't see this coming yourself. I didn't see it coming that you'd wither up and dry out in such an old biddy after such a short time being married. Anyway, we're getting this divorce. You should be thanking me that I haven't completely cut you off. What the hell? You're still at mom's house? It's been 2 months. How long do you plan to sponge off her? Don't you think it's time you became an adult and branch off to live on your own?
What a perfect timing. I was just thinking I'd message you.
I thought we agreed to get this divorce going ASAP. I was waiting for your lawyers to get in touch, but nothing has come through. You're absolutely shameless, aren't you?
Me? Shameless? I could say the same thing to you. I've taken care of your suffering mother so much, and just when it becomes necessary to hire a caregiver to take over, you run away. You are a total lowlife.
You should learn out from looking after my mom. Thanks for doing that, by the way. Good work. It must annoy you that you're still looking after her when you're getting divorced anyway.
I'm not looking after her anymore.
What do you mean? You're out of her place, aren't you? I called mom the other day and she said she was fine because you were with her.
Yeah, well, I'm with her, but I wouldn't call it after her. We are on a spa break at the moment. We're on a week relaxation to celebrate her finishing her recovery.
What about needing a nurse? You told me that mom can't walk.
I thought she wouldn't be able to walk a single step, but I was totally wrong. She tried incredibly hard with her rehab and has been able to walk again just fine. She's been running around the place today. She's more lively than I am at the moment.
I don't get it. Someone who needs a nurse shouldn't be that active. What's going on here? I thought it wasn't just about the walking. I thought her mental strength was also dwindling and that's why a nurse was becoming necessary.
Well, about that, it seems that there was a bit of misunderstanding. She said that although she needed some support, she didn't mean a nurse. She just meant someone to keep her company and help her with some small errands. When I arrived at her place, I was initially quite confused too. When I asked her what had happened, she explained it all to me.
What? And why didn't you tell me straight away?
She told me not to tell you.
Why wouldn't you tell me? I'm her son. She's my mother. I trusted you to help her.
You didn't trust me to help her. You just wanted me out of the house. And at that time, I thought she was losing her mind. So I figured I had to go or no one would be looking out for her.
Why didn't you tell me any of this herself?
She wanted to check what you were actually thinking. You only ever turned up to see her when money is involved. Other than that, you never go to see her. You barely even message her.
You're both nut jobs. I shouldn't be dealing with this much crap for this. You two are way too into each other. It's honestly weird.
I think she was right to try and see what your intentions were really, though. This was your last chance.
What do you mean, last chance?
She wanted to check what you do after she was told she needed help. And you performed just as she had expected and didn't show up once. Your love for her has fully run out, hasn't it?
It's not like I had any love for her in the first place.
Oh, I see. The mask are off. It's about time. And it's not only that you didn't show up to see her. She was the one that realized you were having an affair. She saw you at the mall with another woman before the accident. She was initially just suspicious. But then, she saw you two kiss in a cafe.
Oh man. And to think I wasted so much time trying to keep it up a secret. Oh well.
When she told me she looked so ashamed, she could barely look at me in the eyes. She told me she was sorry for spoiling you when she raised you. She knew that if she'd need care, you'd send me to her. She knew that you'd never come visit, so it would drive us to divorce.
Are you serious? So she purposely plotted out this divorce? What is she, some kind of mastermind? How could she possibly plan all of that?
That's what I thought as well. And yet, here we are.
Well, fair enough. I guess I'm kind of impressed, to be honest.
I was in shock when she first told me. I don't think someone's worried for me that much since I was a child. It's because of your mom that I finally saw the light. I don't have to do everything exactly the way you tell me anymore. Once my eyes were opened, I wholeheartedly thought that I wanted a divorce.
I thought that a divorce wouldn't be the worst thing for a long time. You don't need to make it sound like such a moving story of self-discovery. We just weren't getting on too well. If we're both so set on getting this divorce, then let's get the ball rolling. I'll send the divorce papers through tomorrow. Sign them when you're back from your spa vacation.
I don't know if my lawyer will be available when I get back.
A lawyer?
Yeah, your mom didn't only see you with another woman, but she saw you giving her jewelry that suspiciously looked like mine. When I checked, I noticed some of my rings had gone missing. So, as I'm sure you can guess, a lawyer is going to help me get the money for those things.
But you don't have any proof. You can't just say his mom saw him do it in court.
Your mom also realized that. That's why she hired a private investigator to gather evidence on you.
She did what?
She hired an investigator to follow you, and I can tell you they really gave her a treasure trove of evidence to use.
That stupid old woman?
When she saw all the pictures, she decided she wanted to completely cut ties with you.
I hate her so much. You know what? I don't even care if she wants to cut ties with me. I want nothing to do with that old hag. The real joke is on her though. I'm her only child. So when she dies, everything is going to be left to me. I'm going to live like a king on her money.
You're going to live like a king, are you? Good luck with that.
What do you mean by that? I'm entitled to it as her son. Even if mom says she doesn't want me to inherit her money, I'll still be able to get my hands on a part of it.
That's assuming that she leaves it to you. It's her money. She can do whatever she wants with it. She can donate it to local charities, give it to her friends, you name it, as long as she has a will.
Of course, I would be in the will. I'm her only son. Have you been poisoning her against me? You're over there plotting to cut me out of my rightful inheritance, aren't you?
I'm not plotting anything. You sent me over here and you even shipped all my belongings here without even telling me.
Are you with mom now? Tell her I want to speak with her.
Why don't you call her yourself?
I tried to contact her, but I couldn't get through. She must have blocked me or something.
Well, you know your mom. When she's deciding on something, she's not one to give in easily. And don't think you'll be able to use me to get her. And she doesn't want to speak to you. Then I'll respect her wishes.
Please, just tell her I want to speak to her. I'll apologize for everything I've done to you.
I'm not going to do anything for you. Actually, we'll be in home 3 days. That's Saturday, isn't it? You'll be off from work, right? I don't really want to meet without a lawyer, but if it gets done faster, then we could meet and discuss some divorce stuff. How about we meet in that cafe we used to go to when we first met?
Just wait a second. Maybe we can hold off on the divorce? I want to speak to everyone at mom's house before we go any further with this.
The only thing I want to talk about with you is our divorce. Besides, we can meet at your mom's old house.
Why not?
Because she already moved.
Without telling me?
Did she have to tell you?
It was my childhood home.
Poor you. I seem to remember that it was you that moved without telling me and sent all my things to your mom's house. And you're seriously trying to tell me that your mom should have told you? Your mom was the owner, so she could do what she wanted.
I'm sorry. It was completely wrong of me to move without telling you. I realized now that I should have consulted you first. Could you tell me where her new place is?
Haha, don't be stupid. I'm not telling you that.
But I'm the only family member she has left in this world. At her age, something could happen at any time. What if she falls down the stairs? If I don't know where she lives, then how can I help her when she needs me? Why are you living with her?
She told me that I'm her daughter no matter whether we're related by blood or not. I'm going to be by her side till the very end, so don't worry about her.
I see. I was wrong. I was so wrong to have treated you two the way I did. I'm so sorry. I treated you like you were dirt on my shoe.
I don't need your apology now. If you keep on apologizing without meaning it, then aren't you still being condescending? You don't have to worry about hurting me anymore. From now on, we have nothing to do with each other. You can't do any more damage now.
Please, just listen to me. I'm genuinely so sorry. Don't say that we have nothing to do with each other. You were always so kind to me. Don't you think you could show me that lovely side of you that I adored and forgive me? I promise, I'll be a great husband from now on.
Absolutely not. I was kind to you because I loved you. I feel nothing but hate for you now, so why would I be nice to you?
Please, isn't there any way we can still be together? I want Mom to be in my life too. I'll apologize to both of you. I'll even get down on my knees if that's what it takes.
You're so predictable. Your mom and I both know that you're only saying these things so you can chat about the inheritance. It's so gross that you're always focused on the inheritance. You've always completely ignored your mom and me, but when it comes to inheritance, you're all ears. You're a shameless excuse for a man unclinging to us for so long just to use us like that. Well, you know what? You have nowhere to go and no family left in this world. You're a worthless piece of trash. After the divorce, Matthew was left without a wife or a mother. He tried to reconcile with us, but we had undeniable evidence of his affair, so he eventually gave in and signed the divorce papers. His new girlfriend also found out about his attempt to reconcile and dump him. A while later, Matthew sent a letter expressing his love for me and his mom. We both laughed it off and totally ignored it like it didn't even exist. Without me managing his finances, Matthew ended up in insignificant debt. It's ironic how he used to belittle me for managing a household, but now he must realize its challenges. The lawyer successfully sued him for stealing my jewelry, and we had to cover that expense along with my fair share of the assets as his wife. Matthew's financial situation drastically changed from a life of luxury to struggling to make ends meet. His mom updated her with ensure he wouldn't inherit anything from his dad. As for me, I'm living with Matthew's mom in an apartment she purchased with the money from selling her house. I contribute financially each month, and she's happy to have me live with her. It's a unique situation, living with my ex-husband's mom, but we have a great time together. We cook, watch TV shows, and enjoy walks. I couldn't ask for more. I also found a job recently. Initially, I thought about moving into my own place, but Matthew's mom insisted that I stay with her until I found a new husband. Her words touched me deeply. I think I'll remain here a while longer. I don't really feel like the stress of having a boyfriend again for a little while, so I'm just going to enjoy living with an awesome housemate. I think I'll be very happy here. Even if we aren't blood related, I can help but feel like she's my second mom, helping me through life. I can't thank her enough for what she's done for me, and I intend to make her feel as special as she is in my eyes.